Welcome to Open for Business, the Gallatin Valley's only local business and consumer talk show featuring Tom Egelhoff, the Man Entrepreneur magazine radio called the leading authority in the United States for doing business in small town. Here he is, speaker, author, small business consultant, and Mrs. Egelhoff's favorite son, Tom Egelhoff.
All right, welcome everyone. Open for Business. We air every Saturday live from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time on AM 1450 KMMS in Bozeman, 1340 KPRK in Livingston, Montana. If you'd like to be a part of the big broadcast, go to KMMSAM.com and click Listen Live. The call-in number during the show, 406-522-TALK, 406-522-8255. I'm here, you're here. Let's get the show on the road. Hi, I want to welcome you to the podcast portion of Open for Business. Each week I share some tips and tricks I've learned over the years about advertising, marketing, promotion, and building strong, successful businesses. And if you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel. And while you're there, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you'll never miss another weekly podcast. And you'll also find them on my website at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. And today's topic, I want to talk about, should a small town business have a website? Now, I stopped for lunch at one of my favorite restaurants recently, and I usually take advantage of the time to catch up on some reading and educate myself a little bit. But I forgot to bring something with me, so I picked up a copy of our local newspaper, and as I looked through the issue, I did what I usually do. I look at the ads and see how they're done from an advertising and marketing standpoint. So as I look closer, I began to notice that many of the local businesses had website addresses in their ads. And I suppose the natural response is, what does a small town business need with a website? It's not like you're going to do business in Switzerland. Then it hit me. We're so conditioned by mass marketing and media advertising that the internet is only for high-profile companies, those that average a million hits or more a day. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. For the successful small-town business owner, the internet is just one more weapon in their advertising and marketing arsenal, and it's a very good one. What's wrong with using the internet to reach your target market of 5,000 to 10,000 people in your little corner of the world? You'll probably reach Switzerland too, but so what? If you need 1 million hits per day to put your business in cyberspace, obviously need a website, but if you don't need 1 million hits per day to put your business in cyberspace, for what the internet can do for you, it far outweighs the expense of having a website. So let's look at the reasons why. Small towns are not the same as big cities. Let me give you some common questions experts ask when deciding whether a business belongs on the net, and the reasons why. In some cases, those reasons don't apply to small towns. First one is printing costs. Many large companies send out tons of paper in the form of brochures, reports, other printed materials. Most small town businesses are just trying to keep the doors open and rarely have anything close to a large printing budget. The net can make sense for many small town businesses because you can put out a full color brochure and tons of information that would cost a fortune to print and mail. Also, customer service. One of the great things about small towns is that people take care of problems in person. You can go down to the store or business, and in many cases, you'll talk to the business owner directly. Large companies want to cut costs by eliminating personal contact because a live person is expensive. If you can be directed to a frequently asked questions page instead of a live person, then the company saves money, but loses a customer contact at the same time. Now, if you're Microsoft and you receive thousands of calls, then that might make sense, but it doesn't in a small town. I prefer to take my problem to the owner, and in most small towns I can. I wouldn't recommend virtual customer service instead of personal customer service in a small town. Direct mail. If you're already selling your product by direct mail, then the net might make sense in certain instances. If you aren't, but think you could, then do your homework. You may need additional credit to increase your inventory. You certainly have to become knowledgeable regarding post office mailing regulations and costs, and you also need a return policy as well as customer security for credit card information. Here again, the small town plays a part. If you're a smaller home-based business and you try to compete with direct mail houses, you're going to lose, unless you have a very unusual product that is patented or very difficult to copy. Direct mail houses know every trick in the book. They're always going to be cheaper and are always going to be able to advertise more than you will. Now, we've had at least one store here in Bozeman close its doors and sell exclusively on the net, but they are usually the exception, not the rule. So let's talk about keywords for a minute. Can your business be described by a single word? In a small town, it may or may not matter. Why? Because you may not need to reach the whole world, just your part of it. The name of your business may be well known in your city or county, but unknown to the rest of the world. Who cares? They aren't your target market. If you're a car dealer, you're probably not going to sell many cars in Afghanistan. Direct sales to customers. This is the first one that I totally agree with. If you sell direct to local customers, you can give your business a boost by being on the web. Customers don't always trust salespeople initially. A website often gives customers a sense of comfort and confidence about your business. After all, you're willing to go to the expense of putting your company name and reputation out there for all to see. These are just a few of the things you should consider before jumping into cyberspace. I'm sure you probably heard others. Now, there are some small town website advantages. The internet isn't for everyone. There's some businesses that can really improve business, while others don't see much in the way of increased business or sales. Here are some of the reasons for small town businesses to consider a website. There's no other media that I'm aware of where you can produce four-color information about your business so inexpensively. It reinforces the credibility of your business. It's hard to find a Fortune 500 company advertising on network TV that doesn't have a website address somewhere in their ad. Having a website often gives the impression of a quality company. Even people who aren't on the net will have a higher level of respect for your company. You can provide company history, your products, services, and testimonials that provide a way for new customers to find out all about your company quickly and easily. No other media can be changed so quickly either. If you need to react to something your competitors are doing, you can do it in a matter of seconds. You can use other media to direct people to your website. For example, you don't have time to list all your sale items in a radio ad, but you can direct listeners to your complete list of sale items with four-color pictures on your website. Each day, more and more people are turning to the internet to find products and services they need. You can research prices, services, and companies with more information than almost any other form of advertising. Now, there are some small-town website disadvantages. There are a lot of positives of small-town website, but there's also a downside. Here are some of the reasons to think twice before going online. First of all, the cost. The more you can do yourself, the better it is. I do my site myself, and that saves me quite a bit. Internet service providers can charge anywhere from $30 to $100 an hour for site design and maintenance. However, in many small towns, people are creating terrific websites as a home-based business and may be far more economical than similar services in large cities. Also, search the website for website templates. Many are easy to learn and will make you look as good as any professional designer can put out. You learn Facebook, Word, Excel, QuickBooks, etc. You can learn the software to build a website just as easily. Now, what about internet access in your community? In the Gallatin Valley, where I live in Montana, there are about 80,000 people. According to local studies, 77% of the 80,000 have internet access either at home or at work. If you're in a rural area with low internet activity, it may not be advisable to have a website. You would be better served to advertise in other media. If you want to have a quality site and maintain and update it yourself, that's going to take some time. I spend about 10 to 20 hours a week maintaining my smalltownmarketing.com website, reading, researching, searching, and creating pages and keeping things as current as I can. And with a commercial website, you'll be dealing with credit cards. You'll need a policy to ensure your customer's security. On my secure page, credit card numbers go directly to the bank, not my site. I never see a customer's credit card number. If you're shipping products, you'll need to become familiar with both mail order and postal laws. You'll also need a way to deal with returns and ways for customers to reach you if they have a problem. Now, what does it take to make a local website successful? Well, after checking the advantages and disadvantages, let's say you've decided a website might be for you. So here are some things that will help you make a successful local website. If I were to say Amazon.com, what item immediately comes to mind? Right, books. Amazon is the world's largest bookseller. And if I asked that question in 1994, you probably said a river in South America or a very tall jungle woman. The point is, Amazon went to great lengths and cost to make that name synonymous with books. Now they sell almost everything. Alibaba, the Chinese version of Amazon, just had a $14 billion day. Not a year, not a month, a $14 billion day. Can the same be done with a small town website? Well, maybe not $14 billion right away, but you can drive additional traffic to your business. And the good news is it's even cheaper as a rule because you have fewer people to reach and more ways to reach them. If you're already advertising your business, then it's a simple process to add your website address to all your current advertising. Business cards, letterhead, delivery trucks, answering machine, or voicemail should all carry your website address. Start networking in your sales area. Meet as many people as possible and let them know you have a website. Have a business cards made up introducing your site, pass them out, and put them in every local bill you pay every time you pay it. If you're not a member of the local Chamber of Commerce, then join. Groups like this are a great way to make contacts with people who can help grow your business. Make sure you include your website or email address on all your advertising. It's an easy way for customers to request information after hours. Now, there are some things to consider before you go online. First and foremost, is your competition there? What kind of site design do they have? What service and products do they offer? How are you the same? How are you different? Your online presence is going to create an expense until it begins producing additional paying customers. So redo your business and marketing plans to address this new option and create your own online marketing strategy. What are your online objectives? Are you going to be informational only? Are you going to be a virtual storefront? If you're planning a website that requires updating on a regular basis, you're going to have to budget some time and/or additional personnel to accomplish that. If you're going to have your internet service provider update your site, then you're going to incur some added expense for that service until you learn to do it yourself. And navigation on your site should be simple and easy for the viewer. My website has over 400 pages, and you can go anywhere on it in 4 clicks or less. Make sure the home page is easily accessible from anywhere on the site. And a fast-loading page is imperative. If the customer doesn't see something happening on the screen in less than 5 seconds, they're likely to leave. According to Alexa.com, my site loads in 0.964 seconds. According to them, 80% of sites on the net are slower. If your page loads slowly, talk to your internet service provider. See if they have any suggestions about speeding up the loading of your pages or the overall performance of your site. Photos sell, so does color. Make sure photos are clean and clear. Use a professional photographer whenever possible, and let them know the finished product will be on the net. Try and resist being your own photographer. The worst offenders of this rule are bed and breakfast sites. I rarely see good photos on these sites. Remember, you're showing off your business. This is not a place to cut corners. You have a certain theme or look to your business. You may have company colors, typefaces, logos, and other ways for customers to recognize your business. Don't forget to carry those over onto your website. There's no question that the internet is going to have an even bigger impact on the world economy in the coming years. Whether the internet will be beneficial to your business or not is anyone's guess. You're the only one who can answer that question. One deciding factor may be if your competitor is successful on the net, you belong there too. Now, how do you know if they're successful? Few people will leave a site up if it's losing money, or they're unable to tell that it's paying its part of the advertising budget. If your competitor is online month after month, it's usually because it's producing income or it's driving traffic to the business. The other deciding factor may be that each day more and more people are turning to the net to research products and services to buy. Often a search on the net or cell phone is faster and certainly has more information than newspaper, magazines, or other forms of advertising. So is the net for you? Well, it's your call, and that's the podcast. If you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel or on my website at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. So tune in each Saturday, and let's build successful businesses together. for magazines or other forms of advertising. So is the net for you? Well, it's your call, and that's the podcast. If you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel or on my website at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. So tune in each Saturday, and let's build successful businesses together.